Hello everyone, how are you? I'm Edipo, an architect, and in this video I want to show you the 10 trending colors for next year that you can choose to paint your house both inside and outside. These are trending shades of gray, popular colors that I picked out, my opinion here. Colors that will be a hit next year, and for sure if you choose one of them, you'll be able to paint and decorate your house as well. So look, I studied 10 colors and carefully selected them for you with a lot of care and research. Alright? Exactly. So you can choose one of these to paint your house, paint your living room, paint your bedroom, or paint the facade of your house. Why not? That works. So grab paper and a pen. This content is really cool. I put a lot of care and research into this for you. And the only thing I'm going to ask in return is for you to subscribe to our channel, alright? Subscribe if you haven't already, alright? Also leave a like, hit the thumbs up on this video so we can build a really cool partnership here. And leave a comment. Your comment is really important to me, so comment here. Which of these 10 colors that I'm about to show you would you choose to paint your house? Well guys, this is the kind of video you ask me for a lot, right? Edipo, tell me a cool color to paint my living room, my bedroom, the front of my house. So, I picked out 10 colors here by hand, my opinion, all in shades of gray, okay? Later, I can make another video here with shades of beige, shades of gray, which are really cool. They're really popular too, but in this specific video, it's 10 colors in shades of gray. I'm sure you'll pick one of them. The first color, guys, is Retro Photo. What does this color bring to you when painting a living room, a bedroom, or a television room? It's a neutral shade of gray, very similar to ice color, but it has its own glamour and uniqueness. It's a very beautiful color. If you like the ice color, right? It's very well known in the decoration world. And if you'd like a color close to ice, a shade of gray similar to ice, but like I've seen ice color in a lot of houses, in a lot of places out there. I think it's beautiful, but is there another color that's close to this one but isn't ice? Here it is, look, Retro Photo. This is a color in shades of gray, very light, so I can classify it as medium to light. Okay? Because there are also darker shades you can use to paint all the walls inside your house. So look, how cool is that? It's a color that won't clash, just like the ice color. It doesn't clash with your decor. You can paint all the walls in your house inside your apartment, the Retro Photo too. You're free to paint your living room, your bedroom, the hallway, the corridor, the kids' room, the teenagers' room, anyway. You can paint all the walls inside. And why not also use this Retro Photo color as the main color on the facade of your house? Yes, it's a color I recommend for you to paint the facade of your house as the main color, the color that will stand out on the front of your house. That's another very common question you ask me. Oedipus, the same color I use to paint the facade of my house, can I use it to paint inside as well? Yes, no problem at all. This one here is fine. I 100% recommend you use it to paint the facade of your house, for example. Obviously, for the facade, you need to use more colors, so I wouldn't recommend just one color. You need to work with 2 or 3 colors there, but you can definitely use it as the predominant color. Here's the first color I'm showing. Retro Photo, a popular color, a trending color to paint both the inside of your house or apartment as well as the facade of your house. This color here, guys, called Asteroid. It really resembles chrome gray, okay? I can even tell you that it's a twin sister of chrome gray. This color here, Asteroid. Let's use the same example as the ice color, okay? You like the ice color, but you didn't want to use it because everyone already uses it. Then you go with Retro Photo. Chrome gray is also a very well-known color in the decoration world. It's a color that becomes repetitive, like something you see often. That's the best word for us to use. But then you say, Oedipus, is there a color? Can you suggest a color for me that's very similar to chrome gray, but isn't exactly it? All right, here it is. Look, Asteroid. It's also a neutral gray tone, a medium shade of gray, I can classify it for you, that you can use to paint all the interior walls in your house or apartment, and it will look really nice. Just reminding you that these two colors here, these first two colors I'm already showing you, they can be used, check out this tip, as the main color, okay? It can be that color you use to paint all the walls, and then in each room of your house, whether you live in an apartment or a regular house, no problem at all. You can pick one wall in each room and choose a darker shade of gray. For those of you who like gray tones to paint your house, I'm bringing you these two colors first, and this second one, our Asteroid here, are colors you can use to paint all the walls, and then you choose one wall per room. I always recommend the following. Never paint all the walls with a strong dark color, okay? Use a color, not just in gray tones, in any shade, use a darker color from that color palette. And then on the other three walls of that same room, you use a lighter shade. Which is exactly this Asteroid that I'm telling you about here. You can paint three walls in your suite, such as the one behind the bed's headboard. You can paint it with a darker color, in the same palette of gray tones. This one right here, guys. The color Silver Bali is a medium gray tone, already leaning, let's say, about 75% towards a medium dark shade. Okay? It's a color that you need to be a little careful with when painting the inside of your house. When I talk about being careful, what I mean and what I want you to understand is that this color here, Silver Bali, is a medium gray tone that's already leaning towards dark. Okay? We know that the gray palette has thousands of colors. There are a huge number of shades in the gray palette. And within these palettes, we have those really light colors. They almost look white, right? There are the medium colors, the medium gray tones, and there are those darker colors. So, between medium and dark, I can put this Bali silver here, about 60%, just above medium. So what do you need to be careful about when choosing this color here? Look, Bali silver, okay? To paint your house inside. Let's talk about the interior first. It's a color that if you're going to paint all the walls of a room and you already have a dark wood floor, look how nice. You already have a dark wood floor. You already have your cabinetry is also in dark tones, and your sofa is that really dark gray as well. And then you need to be careful, because otherwise you might end up making your space too dark. Using this pale silver color. It's not that it's not recommended, that's not it, you just need to be careful. Are you going to use pale silver? Okay, that's perfect. It's a beautiful color in the gray palette. However, you need to be careful, because it might not be comfortable for you in those spaces where you chose the pale silver color if you go overboard with other materials in dark colors. So, my tip and the care you should take when choosing the pale silver color. That's my opinion, okay? There are many professionals who have different opinions. My opinion for you, if you choose this color here to paint the inside of your house, is just to be careful with the other elements, otherwise you might end up making it too dark. Exactly because this color is already a medium shade of gray, already leaning towards the darker side, okay? This next color here, white azalea, is totally the opposite of the last one I just mentioned to you, silver bale. Why? It's very light, okay? It's very soft, very neutral. White azalea, I want to do a review for you here, okay? If you like cockatiel gray, pay attention. Look, if you like it, if you've seen it in some places, in some houses, the cockatiel gray color painted, you liked that color but don't want it again in your house? Edipo, I thought it was beautiful. A really light gray. It matched with the white doors, with the wood-colored floor, with the white ceiling. It looked so beautiful, but I didn't want to repeat that color in my house. Here's my tip. White azalea, this color, I can consider it like a sister to cockatiel gray. Almost a twin sister, okay? Almost a twin sister to cockatiel gray. Cockatiel gray, by the way, is the color I have painted in my apartment, just so you guys know what I'm talking about, all right? But if you like a light shade of gray and want to choose a color close to cockatiel gray, here's my tip for you. Look, white azalea, you have no idea how beautiful this color is after it's painted with a white door, okay? With a white baseboard. A wood-like floor, whether it's vinyl or porcelain, with a nice, beautiful plaster decoration, will also add value to your living room and your property. Okay, this color here, for those of you who like light gray tones, is an excellent choice to paint your house. Our next color is Arctic Morning. Now I want to tell you that this one I can consider a little lighter than Calopsita, or maybe even a twin sister, Calopsita Gray. If you didn't like White Azalea, which was our previous color, I'm bringing you this one. Look, Arctic Morning, okay? I can classify it as, let's say, 10% lighter than White Azalea. Let's put it this way. There's a really cool situation here that I want you to understand now. Okay? Shades of gray, light ones, those really light colors like Cockatiel, Arctic Morning, White Azalea, Retro Photo, these colors in very light gray tones, they can vary depending on your lighting. Oedipus, what do you mean by that? Pay attention. When you have white cool lighting, which is that shade from the lamp, really white, whiter. Okay? The painted gray color, especially Arctic Morning here, will be a cooler gray, that stronger gray. You'll really be able to see the color of Arctic Morning gray painted on your wall when the lighting is cool white, okay? When it's a neutral white, you can still get that feeling. Now, when you have Arctic Morning painted on your walls and you use a warm white light, pay attention. Warm white is that lighting with a yellowish tone. Okay? It's totally the opposite of that white lighting we use, which I always recommend for the kitchen, bathroom or laundry area. Alright, so the temperature of the warm white bulb will give you a certain feeling with these light colors. Okay? Dark colors aren't affected as much, but with a light gray shade, when you use warm white lighting, it gives the impression your eyes will start to feel like that color is turning beige. You know that feeling? Like I painted my wall gray, but it looks like shredded paper. It's a shade of gray, but leaning toward beige. So just be careful with that perception. Sometimes you might think, man, I picked the wrong color. But that's not it. It's not that you picked the wrong color. It's not like I told you here it would turn out one color and then it turned out to be another. That's not it, okay? It's exactly because of the lighting tone that you'll get this visual effect in your decor. So, light shades of gray painted inside your house, when you use warm white lighting, they suffer a bit. They tend to look more beige. Take this tip so you don't think you made a mistake choosing your color. Now, I want to talk to you about the pure white color. For those of you who like it, who are fans of white but don't want everything to be monochromatic, that single color painted inside your house. Pure white, guys, this pure white color is to break up that monochromatic look you might have in your home. I always recommend here in my projects, in my videos, when I talk to you, that the ceiling should be white, okay? In my projects, the ceiling has to be white, all right? Because that way you're free to work with colors on the walls, the floor, or other elements. Now, if you say, Edipo, I like the color white, I want white inside my house. But I don't want that hospital or clinic feeling where everything is white, okay? So, here's a great color suggestion for you, pure white, okay? Choose this color to paint the walls in your house. It's much lighter than Calopsita gray. Just so you know, Calopsita is already a very light color in the gray palette. And then pure white comes in to make it even lighter compared to Calopsita gray. Our next color, still in the gray palette, is Ponte Estallada. If you pay attention, it is indeed a shade of gray, but it really resembles a shade of green. If you're like me and love green, and longtime followers know this. Besides the shades of gray, which I also really like, here's a color in the gray palette, okay? Don't look for this color in the green palette because you won't find it, all right? Even though it really reminds you of a shade of green, here's a color for you if you want to have a color in your house painted in a shade of gray from the gray palette, but that still reminds you of green. Look, Oedipus, I really like the color Sweet Herb, which is a very light shade of green, but I didn't want to go with that color. Here, look, a shade of gray with a hint of green called Cable Stayed Bridge for you to paint the interior walls of your house. And I would also suggest the following. Besides the interior walls of your house, you can feel free to choose a wood-like floor, a lighter floor, a white ceiling. You can also use this color cable-stayed bridge in your kitchen cabinetry, for example, or in your bathrooms, okay? It's a very beautiful color. It's a shade of gray that's really cool. I like it a lot. In my next project that I do here, I'll show it. I always show my projects. I'm going to suggest this color Ponte Estallada to my client, okay? To paint the inside of his house, his apartment, or even the cabinetry there, whether it's in the kitchen or in the bathrooms. Our next color, called Mangaratiba, is also a shade that stands out because it's a gray tone, but it really reminds you of lilac. You notice that the previous color I showed you reminds you of green, but it's actually in the gray palette. And now Mangaratiba is a shade of gray. But if you stop to analyze it with me and pay attention to this color, it will remind you of lilac, a very light shade of lilac. Look at how nice it feels when we choose a color to paint our house. See how much of a difference it makes when you choose the right color to paint your property, the front of your house, your son's or daughter's room, your suite, your television room. Just look at how many options we have to choose from just in the gray color palette. Isn't that cool? This color, Mangaratiba, which looks like lilac and is very beautiful, it's a color I would definitely choose to paint all the interior walls of my house, to be a predominant color on the facade of my house. Did you like these colors here? Would you choose one of these to paint your house? I want to read your comment down below, so leave a comment for me and don't forget that I'll be waiting for you in our next video. Take care.